Okay, so here I am with Genevieve, who was one of our participants on the voice activation course, the 9-week course that we did online last year. And really, really loved having you and your energy and your intuitive way of responding to the information and the voice activations and the energy that was coming through our group and through individually through our bodies during each week. So yeah, Jen, I just wanted to ask you, what was it like for you as we did the activations through each energy center of the body?
I think firstly, the medicine that I received from this course is like groundbreaking for my entire life. And I really believe that everyone needs to activate their voice. And, I was shocked because I originally came to you because I heard a message that I wanted to sing better in a car. And then, I thought that was like the base level of it. But honestly, whilst we moved through each of the chakras, and like, I don't think you don't need to be spiritual to do this either. Like it's actually just the core element of each of these centers hold energy. And I think from what I found was that at a very young age, I shut down my voice, and going through and activating each of these centers reconnected me with that inner child, or with those moments, or the weaknesses in each centers, because I was able to like bring power into them and sing from that place.
Yeah.
Which, one, I never thought I could do, and two, you make each of the weeks so approachable, like the base chakra, like getting grounded, getting like even that vibration of being able to just hum and resonate at a low vibrational frequency, that instantly I felt that my whole body just felt grounded and calm and just held within my own voice. So beautiful. And there was this moment when we were in the solar plexus, or the heart, and we sung This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And there was this moment that I after the course cried all night, because I just felt into the deep grief I had, that I stopped myself from singing, because I connected with this moment where someone told me, like, you can't sing like that. And then from there, anytime I wanted to sing, I would shut myself down. And I think that actually impacts everything in your life. Like, you're shutting down your authentic voice, which is how we vibrate and resonate with each other. And yeah, I was just like, wow, I can't believe I'm grieving. Like, I was grieving the sadness of the time that I stopped myself singing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just, like, more than anything, I think it allowed me just to really, I think it's the best inner child work you could possibly do.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize that that was the foundation of the course until we entered into those first few weeks. And yes, I've been working with that one-to-one through the voice with clients for quite a long time. But when we did that collectively as an activation to open the course, that was when I realized that that inner child is actually the whole journey of recollecting all of our pieces from this life to become whole and radiant and powerful. And yeah, that was reflected across everybody in the course.
Everybody. There was like one call where I think it was in the sacral, it was like we were picking up the pieces from all around and pulling it back to ourselves. And everyone on the course had such profound experiences where they were like, I feel so whole again, and I'm actually able to call this back into my body whilst radiating out. Like, it's not a defense mechanism. If anything, it's like a re-embodiment to then be able to radiate out.
And there were a lot of emotions, but it didn't feel heavy to me.
Oh, it was not heavy at all. Like, some of the things that everyone was bringing up from their childhood or what they dealt with or anything, but we were singing, so it was like, I think it's because you're in touch with that yeah, again, I really think it's that inner child work and being able to sing. You're giving that, like, that part of you that wants to be free, that wants to sing, that adds that lightness of like, oh no, this is me freeing myself, this is really beautiful. And you hold in the container, you held such beautiful presence and such a beautiful structure that, like, if someone was nervous, if they were sad, if there was anything, it didn't feel heavy at all. It was so fluid because, you know, we were singing and then we'd share. But I love it that the shares weren't ever too long, or it was really perfect, actually, like the perfect
It's
mix
really useful, I think, to bring, sorry, Jen, to bring people back into like the simplicity of sound when so much is being activated in the emotions, and so much of what is happening is, you know, it's trauma from this lifetime, but there's also family patterns. Like there was some really big ancestral stuff that was shifting through the course, family patterns that were only really being recognized by people as we were activating those energy centers of the body, and allowing people to be to have their emotions and to really hold space for that. And then just moving into sound rather than analysis was so fucking powerful. I love that the wisdom of everybody in the group guided what needed to happen.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, it's like, because, you know, you can always overanalyze things and like go into deep things, but actually we would just go into vibration and song, and it would just like completely transform whatever was there into like alchemy, into something that was light and fun. And you always left every call feeling like, because you set the call up with so much intelligence about each of the centers, about what each center means, what, like, very incredible theory of resonance, and yet with like just just, it was so interesting. Like every time you were speaking, I was like, oh my gosh, give me the juice.
And then the science say that's kind of where I needed to enter into the understanding of energy so that I could be able to understand it or see it. I guess I think it actually is more about when I can see in my imagination the relationship between our cells or a tree through the understanding of the human biofield and the morphogenetic field, then I feel like what happens in my sound and meditation and even prayer processes is so much more powerful. It's like I engage my inner child. So when I can give like a description or an illustration of what people might be experiencing as we're resonating, as we're connecting with the inner child, as we shift something in the ancestral pattern, which shifts a neural pathway or allows change in like established neural networks, that for me is, I fucking love it.
It really shows, knowing the science and the elements of like the cells, the vibrations, because I think the logical brain always wants to know, yeah, but why? Like, what is it? Like, and actually, like,
it's my childlike nature wants to see like the magic, but also discard the science. Like understand the magic through that, but also understand the magic through mythology, and then discard all of that and just experience through the mystery.
And this is what it was. That was like the beautiful container. Like started off with the science, the theory, and then we went in to figure out how it was. And then in the end, we were just doing and being and letting it all shift.
Yeah.
It was like a really beautiful balance, because you came out of it, yeah, just questioning life, questioning, like feeling the resolve, And then I think at the end, like every session you left feeling so proud of yourself, because it's like at the start of the course, everyone was like, I can't believe I'm going onto this course to sing to people. And at the end, it was such a beautiful container that everyone supported each other so much. And that there was always inherently, I think, going to be a little bit of nervousness and fear. But by the end, we were all singing, we were all like giving each other songs and freestyling, and it's something that I have really incorporated in my practice to this day. Like I really need now singing and song to be healthy and happy. Before that, I remember there was a time we had just a break, or there was something that we had an extra 2 weeks, or that to have like a recap. And in that time, I realized I stopped singing, and I think it was the perfect timing for me to be like, oh, this is actually medicine for my soul that I need to continue to learning, to vibrating, to resonating, to connecting with that inner child. And you even mentioned, just singing to yourself in your room when you're not feeling great instantly lifts your vibration. At its base level, having those little elements that it's like, oh, wow, I feel confident to do this, to shift my energy and to raise my vibration.
It helps me stay connected to the intelligence of my body wisdom, of my soul wisdom. And when just something that you just said there resonated with this last couple of months, that's been really challenging, where I've stopped doing my practices and it just feels like I shut down to this really stuck, stagnant, kind of bottled up energy that is irritated and frustrated and uninspired. And as soon as I do one morning toning practice, the whole thing shifts. As soon as I do one toning session with somebody, the whole thing shifts. It's like my energy expands to where it feels inspired.
Beautiful.
And I forget when I don't do it.
Well, it is the case. I think sometimes that I don't do my practices until I'm like in a state where I'm like, why am I here? Having a daily practice is really important, whether that is singing, whether it is meditation, whether it is to dance. Like everyone has different pathways to their wholeness. But I always remember that there's like a meme or a post, and it's like the shamans, whenever they would like see someone, they'd be like, when did you stop singing and dancing? That's like their first question. And I actually just saw a post today that it said, can you dance the blues away? New research shows exercise can be just as impactful in treating depression as therapy. A study analyzed random trials with 14,000 participants, and pretty much they found that exercises versus other treatments of depression, so dance was by far leading cause of reduction in depression versus like antidepressants versus like all these other elements. And I believe that singing would be in there too. It's like it's innate in our it just makes
core to the traditions of every culture when we lived in community.
Yes.
So every native culture on the planet has song, has dance, has medicine men and women who work with trance, who work with, their ancestors. And I believe that this is a time where many, many more of us from the Western culture, Western world are so lost and so full of unhappiness and disease that we are aching to find these ways that connect us back to the truth of who we are, because we're all Indigenous in our ancestry and our lineage, and we all have that song and dance and natural medicine in our DNA and our lineage. So yes, it's an exciting time if you're seeking that connection back into that deep wisdom.
And it also you also gave these the mantras of love. Is it what's the beautiful chorus? And it, like, the songs that we're singing, I think is so important, like of what you're actually like putting into the words that you're singing out. We sing some songs, but what are actually the words in those songs? What is the meaning to these songs? And you gave like, at the end of that, like I said to you at the end of the course, I was like, I think that you need to run just like community group singing sessions, like even online when we can just like come together and sing, because it healed my soul. And I've never, like, obviously I shut it down as a young age, but I never really realized how much I needed that group singing element and how much it actually can be done through Zoom.
It's like, obviously feel it opening now for some really cool new things and community connection to happen in that way. So you've been very inspiring for that.
Well, it's like I feel things so deeply, and through the whole course I was just like,
it's some really physical activations.
You would be like, okay, the feet, this is about the feet. And then like literally like my feet would seize up, or like in the stomach. Like I feel things very physically through my body. And every chakra we went through, I lost my voice. Again and again, the body doesn't lie. Like regardless if this is subconscious, if this is any, like whatever it is, whatever you can put down to it, my body was feeling it. And then the next week, my body would release it, and then we would move on to the next thing. Yeah.
I had a really intense experience of waking up the morning after we did our root chakra activation, and my right hip had seized and I couldn't walk on it. And I actually had to go and get treatment.
Yes.
And that was, 24 hours later, it was completely fine. I was walking on it again. And that was, there was quite a lot of that physical activation in the group. I mean, would you recommend this course?
Like more than anything.
Too.
I think that everyone should do this. I think that kids should do it, children in high school, adults, everyone, anyone who ever feels that like, hey, one, maybe I want to sing in the car better. Two, I want to heal something and I don't know where to start. Three, I've got some things going in my life and I'd like a distraction that makes me feel great and in community. Like anything, this is like, sometimes there's like gateways to your healing. And I think this is such a beautiful gateway to opening up elements in yourself, to being able to heal yourself on so many different levels, and also gain a skill that's so beautiful and fundamental to life that will change your life in so many ways. So yeah, I really recommend it for everyone.
Thanks, Jen. Yeah, I feel really, really honored to have learnt so much with you guys on the course. And yeah, to really have shifted some big stuff for myself. So it happens every course. I expect that I'm, holding space and bringing through information, but the actual healing for me as we're doing it together keeps a real level of humility and curiosity to the way that the course unfolds, which I love. Yeah.
It's always amazing. It's like, wait, what just happened? Like, what is happening? Yeah. It just never ceases to amaze, which I think is also incredible for you to experience your own magic opening up in different people, because everyone responds so differently.
Yeah. And the last thing I wanted to just mention was that the exchanges that happened between everybody, because we did quite a lot of partner work through the Zoom rooms, the exchanges and almost like the gifts that people receive from each other, doing the resonating at a distance through, on each of our grid points that we were sitting on the earth, that blew me away. To feel the reflections and feel the delight in people from the exchange that happened energetically in that very telepathic, or I don't want to say psychic, it's more like the timelessness of our spirit doesn't comprehend that there is any distance when we're connecting in that way through heart space and through resonance and sound. And that's why this next course is really going to deepen that level of our understanding and our trust in the multidimensional aspect of our connection through time and space.
Oh, nice. Can I also just add quickly on top of that, your connection with the earth and your connection with the trees and the water and everything actually was one of the the greatest gifts I got from this course. Not only was I activating my voice, but I was connecting in with nature. I was connecting in with the earth. And that is something that is just such a blessing for me. I always had a relationship with earth and nature, but on a whole nother level did you introduce me to that, and it was incredible, like vibrating with trees, grounding into the earth, singing to water. Really, honestly, you ignited that fire in me, and I have a completely different relationship with Mother Earth. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's like so inspiring for me to hear.
Yeah.
Very much of the reason why I want to share this work is connection into the meaningful, into meaningful life and connected life, and for humans that understand this reciprocity and this interconnectedness, so we look after this beautiful planet of ours. So yeah.
Yeah, I sing to the water now. Every time I go into the water, I sing to it. And
Yes.
that's the most beautiful thing. And I just look at trees differently, and just, you really ignited a really deep spark in my soul that I'm so grateful for.
Thank you, Jen.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Jen. Thanks for sharing your experience of the course.
Thank you.
And I'll be singing with you soon.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait.